Hey Sagittarius, this is Michael with your June 2022 reading. I hope that this finds you well. I am so sorry that this video is coming out late. Some of you may have seen in my community post, I was having some technical difficulties. I was having a hard time connecting with the energy at first, and then after I was finally able to record something, I found out that half of the files had no audio, so I've had to re-record some of these readings. It hasn't been a lack of care or concern for you or anything like that. It's just been a crazy Mercury retrograde, and Mercury had some final words with me before it went direct on June 3rd. So maybe you're still kind of reeling in some chaos by the time you're watching this video as well, and perhaps we can clarify some of these things. We already have your cards on the table. I do have all of my links in the description box down below if you're interested in a personal reading or Reiki session with me. And as always, I really do appreciate any support that you show this channel, whether it's your likes, shares, comments, or subscribes. And an extra special thank you to all my patrons on Patreon. It's with all of your assistance and support that I continue putting out these messages. Anyways, we have the Hermit and the Tower showing up in the past. So remember how I was saying that it felt like there was kind of a crazy month or energy? Definitely feels like you felt it too. With the Tower, there's this kind of coming apart of something, this breaking down of something, and it was a very introspective period for you with the Hermit card. This could actually be involving Virgo energy, or maybe Aries or Scorpio energy with the Mars aspect of the Tower. Either way, this is showing up in the past. I want to really state that here and emphasize that. And so whatever has been going on, it feels like you've actually kind of recovered from the Ten of Swords in reverse. I almost get the sense there was a really bad betrayal or someone who stabbed you in the back in the past. Could be involving one of the signs that we discussed, but it feels like whatever it was that happened, right? Whatever it was that blew you open, whatever it was that caused this tower to fall apart, whether that was a betrayal or even a spiritual sort of experience with the Hermit card here. Some of you may have had your crown chakra blown open and you had some sort of spiritual insight or some major revelation of some kind. It's something that you are recovering from. It's something that is helping you move on from a sense of being hurt or wounded from the past. And that's very, very beautiful and honestly makes a lot of sense. We had a full moon in Scorpio on May 16th, and this was in your 12th house, your house of spirituality, your subconscious. And so there was a lot of emotionality that kind of erupted or had some sort of shift or something very seismic in scale happened here. And looking at the Tower again, I was saying this is Mars energy, this is Aries or Scorpio energy. So I feel like this lunar eclipse last month got you into a very spiritual mode and really got you thinking about the bigger things in life. And you may have needed to retreat in order to heal. You may have needed to take time for yourself. You may have needed to connect with your spirit with this Hermit card here. But something is healed. And it's almost like when I see the Ten of Swords in reverse, it's like the wisdom that we gain through painful experiences. Maybe we wish they didn't happen, but it's like you're still gaining some sort of perspective here that is helping you move forward. And with Mercury going direct, this happens on June 3rd. So it already happened by the time you're watching this. And this is in your opposite sign. Or I'm sorry, no, this isn't your opposite sign. This is happening in the sign of your health and wellness. It was in your opposite sign at the beginning of May. So there may have been something that broke down in a relationship or a partnership of some kind, whether that is romantic, business, or even platonic. Anyone you were really close with, maybe there was the betrayal there. Something shifted there. And we also had Scorpio go retrograde on June 4th. Or it's going retrograde on June 4th. And when Saturn goes retrograde, it's a very interesting energy because it's almost like a pressure is being lifted. We're able to refocus on the things that really matter. But the way this one is kind of manifesting, especially this year, it feels like there is just this breaking point, and it's like, I can't do this anymore. I can't hurt myself for this anymore. I need to reprioritize things in my life. I need to reprioritize my happiness. What am I working towards? Is this really working the way I'm doing this? These sorts of big questions. And it might come in a form that's a little uncomfortable at the start of this month. So maybe some of this past energy is still kind of trickling into this month as well. With Saturn going retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, for you, this is actually your 9th house. So this is the house of travel. This is the house of, it is your 2nd house. 3rd house. Mercury retrograde. Okay, thank God I have notes in front of me. So with Saturn going retrograde in your 3rd house, there is something with your mind that is coming into clearer focus, or you may be more focused on communication or ideas in the immediate world around you. There could also be a focus on siblings specifically, or cousins, or anyone who's like a peer or sister or brother in kind of the spiritual sense. So that's very, very interesting. And with this full moon in your sign this month, on the 14th, there is this dramatic shift in the way you understand yourself. And it feels like that is the direct result of the solar or lunar eclipse that we had last month in May. Something shifted for you spiritually, something shifted in your subconscious, and it's now affecting the way that you understand yourself or express yourself. And with this full moon working together with Saturn in Aquarius, this is where we're really able to shift things, because there is this completion or culmination with the full moon, and with Saturn retrograde on the 4th and then this full moon on the 14th, this is when things kind of smooth out, it feels like. This is when we can really end one cycle and focus on the things that matter. And again, this is helping you prioritize ideas, your locale, or, whoever your peers are. And whatever this immediate thing is. Maybe some of you are also working on writing. There's a writing project or something along those lines. There's definitely a lot of celebration this month for you with the 4 of Wands. It's about moving into the next level. It's like a graduation of sorts. And it just feels like spiritually you have graduated into something higher. And I always think of the 4 of Wands as this foundation that you've established and are celebrating. And it's almost like, with the 10 of Swords in reverse, I almost feel like no one could hurt you the way you've been hurt again. You had to be like the phoenix, reduced to ash and then born again. And there's just this beautiful, beautiful energy here that it might not have come easy. It doesn't seem like it has at all. But you have this core or this foundation spiritually that can never be taken away from you. Now, it does feel like with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, as a bit of a challenge this month, this could represent another person. Maybe this is something to do with siblings. Maybe it's someone else. There's a lot of focus on partnerships for you this month too, and that doesn't just mean romantic partnership. That could be business partnership. That could be, again, anyone you share yourself with in a significant way. And this could be an earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, especially Capricorn energy here. And it kind of feels like the challenge here too is that you might need to change things or do things that don't necessarily make sense. They're not traditional. It feels a little non-traditional, the energy you're stepping into, which isn't something that's very challenging for you as a Sagittarius. But you feel unsure about something, and there's still the sense of uncertainty by the end of the month with the Ace of Swords in reverse and the Eight of Cups upright. And it's almost like you're going back to this hermit mode, or you want to go back to this hermit mode. There's this sense of clarity that you're trying to get again. I still feel like there's something with travel here, which is interesting because there's not really anything astrologically that I'm aware of that would indicate travel for you right now, unless there is something that is you are literally moving and you're changing your immediate environment in that way. I do think some of you are taking space from someone. With the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Cups, it's like you have to walk away. It's like you're no longer aligned with certain people, especially if there is someone who's overly materialistic or just too caught up in tradition. It's like you're looking for your happiness or contentment elsewhere. Now, an interesting thing that's happening, we do have Neptune going retrograde I think it's the same day. It's the same day as this new moon in Cancer on the 28th. And when Neptune goes retrograde, it's like this lifting of a veil. And you might feel called to look for answers somewhere. If you are traveling, I think some of you might even be going to your hometown or place of origin or feeling called to connect with these things in some way. Maybe you're connecting with your culture or ancestry because you need some answers to questions that you have. And there can also be a reality check with family members as well. If someone's dealing with addiction or someone's just in a very toxic or dysregulated state, you might need to distance yourself from them to heal yourself or take time for yourself. That is an energy I could get for some of you, that there might be a bit of a reality check. But I did want to pull for love for you because we have Venus entering your opposite sign, Gemini, on the 22nd. And this can bring new relationships. And when I pulled about love and partnership, I actually did get the Page of Cups and the Magician. This could be Virgo or Gemini energy. There could be a conversation or messaging or someone asking you out, or maybe you're asking them out. Something is manifesting here, actually, with the Magician, which is very, very exciting. And maybe there is, I'm going to be honest, there could be a relationship that some of you are walking away from by the end of this month. If that's this Earth sign with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, especially Capricorn, and you're kind of cutting off contact with someone, it's like your spirit, you know intuitively there's someone else out there for you with the Magician and the Page of Cups, and it's like this person is an answer to your prayers. And Venus in Gemini is also forming a sextile with Jupiter in Aries. And Jupiter and Venus are the two benefics, and they're working together. And it could be bringing in a relationship that's very exciting and very spiritually connected. And I would say the interesting thing about the 28th, and this is why it feels like a lot of you could potentially be breaking off some relationships and going into a new one, because the new moon in Cancer is actually squaring or in conflict or tension with Jupiter in Aries. And Jupiter in Aries really is this exciting and passionate energy for you. And it does rule over dating and romance as well. And it's almost like there's this new transformative energy here, especially regarding intimacy and sexuality. And you might be getting too caught up in kind of the surface of life, especially with the Four of Wands. There might be a bit too much celebration going on this month, and by the end of the month it feels like you need to kind of cut off and retreat and reconnect with your energy again. But I could see this as certain relationships ending that aren't really good for you or aren't aligned with your spirit anymore. But there is something new here. And maybe this is just self-love with the Page of Cups for now. Maybe this is just you loving yourself and connecting with your own intuition and spirit. The Page of Cups can be an intuitive messenger. The new moon in Cancer is also this beginning of a magical journey for you as well. But I pulled these specifically asking about romance. So I feel like there is a new partner, or there is a new beginning in your relationships if you are in an existing relationship that's healthy. And there could be this kind of spiritual, esoteric charge. And we have the Hierophant. Again, this sort of spiritual energy. And Taurian energy. Yeah, I feel like there's just more spiritual partnerships, or there's a spiritual connection or commitment that is either being established or deepened. It honestly feels like a new one for most of you, though. I'm going to pull an animal card here for you before we wrap this up. What do we have? That's too many. Let's... yeah, let's try again. That didn't feel like the right pile. What is the animal wisdom for Sagittarius? We have the snake and the crocodile. Something lying dormant beneath the surface here. And, sorry. I only give myself so much room on this table. With the snake and the crocodile, there is this shedding of a skin. Something from beneath the surface is slowly being revealed. And there's this awakening. And sometimes when I think of the snake, I think of Kundalini. We have this kind of like Ouroboros imagery, the serpent eating its own own tail. There is this sort of infinite energy here, and there's like this infinite life potential, and I often think of Kundalini energy. This serpent of light, this energetic potential that is coiled in our root chakra. And there is a lot of spiritual energy here for you, Sagittarius. You may be having some surge of life force or spiritual energy this month. Something that is dormant is being revealed. And with the crocodile, it's like, I actually feel like you're going into a very receptive state. You're no longer chasing after things. You're waiting for something to come to you as this crocodile, and there may be some patience that's required. but it feels very magical, and ancient is actually a word that keeps coming up for me as well. I have the crocodile with the Hierophant. It's like ancient wisdom specifically. Is there anything else? I feel like there's one more card still, actually. Two of Swords, waiting for something. There's something that's worth waiting for, and not taking every opportunity, not going out whenever you can. Saying no to certain things can actually be very empowering for you this month. Yeah, there's something about waiting and connecting with something ancient. With the crocodile, Hierophant, and Two of Swords. And I feel like some of you are really going off and doing something to help you connect spiritually, whether that's a trip, which I actually feel like it is for some of you, or just connecting with something deeper, going beneath the surface in some way, and connecting with your intuition. I feel like a lot of you are going to be pretty focused on meditation this month as well, especially with kind of the Taurus energy that we are still in. Venus is still in Taurus. It's going to be activated by Uranus and the North Node on the 11th and 16th. And for some reason, it feels like you having a meditation practice or routine. And that could be something that really opens you up, or a yoga practice, actually. Especially like if you do Kundalini yoga, stay committed to your practice. And those are all the messages I have for you this month, Sagittarius. I hope this was helpful and interesting. Be sure to hit like and subscribe if it was, and you're not already subscribed to this channel. Again, all of my links are in the description box down below. And you can also check out the other videos for your moon and rising sign. There may be messages for you there as well. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Sagittarius, and have a happy and blessed June.